What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the Guru Podcast. Let's get it. A lot of time, human beings have a special attachment to things, whether it's a place or it's a person. It's so dear to us that we always want to see the good, not the bad. It's like our opinion of that dear thing or that dear place is always biased. It's like when I meet girls from Chicago who try to convince me that Chicago is this beautiful city that's peaceful, not a lot of drama, not a lot of violence. It's the mainstream media always blowing things out of proportion. No, data clearly shows that the crime rate in Chicago is higher than most cities in America. They're not making up the data. It's a shithole. That's why I met you in Dallas so you don't live there anymore. Just like people try to convince me that Angel Reese is a better player than Caitlyn Clark. I don't understand it. It's like comparing a Tory Burch bag to a K-Spade bag. They're different levels. And we saw that in college when Angel Reese had a better team, more athletic, bigger, faster, and stronger. And then lost to a team that only had one weapon. And it was Caitlyn Clark. But they couldn't stop her. She's that good. And we try to drag that conversation to the WNBA. And she showed again that she's a Lambo. Angel Reese is a Toyota. She broke every record that she could possibly break as a rookie. She broke the record for most points by a rookie, most assists by a rookie, most threes made by a rookie, most triple-doubles by a rookie, which I think was 2. What did Angel Reese do? Most double-doubles, most consecutive double-doubles, single-season rebound. Basically everything that has to do with rebounds. She's basically Rudy Gobert with a beautiful face. And she also broke the record for the most smoked layups in the season. I just don't understand it. They're not on the same level. Last year, the Sky had 18 wins. The Fever had 13 wins. So the Fever were a horrible team. That's the reason why they got the number 1 pick in the draft. So they chose Caitlyn Clark. Obviously, because even a blind person could have told you that. And the Sky had the 3rd pick and the 7th pick, I believe. In the 3rd pick, you would think that they would choose the person that they keep comparing to Caitlyn Clark, right? You would think they would clearly choose Angel Reese. No, they chose Cardozo because they thought Cardozo was a better talent than Caitlyn Clark. I'm sorry. They thought that Cardozo was a better talent than Angel Reese. So if the team who had millions invested in those players told you who they thought was more talented, who are you to argue? They told you they thought Cardozo was better. And they chose her first. They chose Angel Reese 7th. That showed you everything you needed to know. Last year, the Chicago Sky had 18 wins. They got 2 top picks. The Fever only had 13 wins and only on 1 player. It was Caitlyn Clark. So you would think that the Fever will technically be a better team, right? I mean, they got 2 more talent, 2 girls who are big. So you would think that they'll be a better team. And no, they weren't. The Sky only had 13 wins in the season that just ended. And the Fever got 20 wins, 7 more wins than last year. Not only did they have 7 more wins last year, they went to the playoff. And the last time the Fever went to the playoff was in 2016. The Sky were just the champ in 2021, so they're a better red team. They have a better management. The only difference is they got a game-changing talent, and the Sky did it. They got Dennis Rodman. I just don't understand it. And honestly, the debate between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese comes down to vision. Vision is how we perceive the world and how we want to live in it. For now or in the future. And vision is shaped by our experiences. It's shaped by how we grew up. It's shaped by our surrounding. It's shaped by our parents. And you had two girls who grew up differently and have a completely different vision of the world. You got one girl who grew up telling herself, I'm going to be the best WNBA player in the world. I'm going to be the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. I'm going to be as accomplished as LeBron James. People are going to talk about me as the greatest to ever do it. And she understands the sacrifice that she needs to make in order to get there. She understands that, okay, there's going to be less social media. I'm going to have to talk to my friends less because I have to be in the gym. I'm going to have to sacrifice vacation. She understands what she needs to do in order to get there. And that's Caitlyn Clark. And you got another girl who grew up differently. And her dream was, she saw the Migos, she saw Beyonce, she saw all the pop stars, and one day she told herself that one day she want to be their friend. She want to be as popular as Beyonce. She wants to be as popular as Glorilla. I don't know, whatever you can think of. She wants to be in the same room as them. That's what her dream. That was her dream. Her dream was to be a celebrity, a pop star that everybody wants to talk about. She wants people to talk about her styles, what she's wearing. Guys, I'm wearing this crop top. That's what she wants to talk about. She wants you to talk about her outfit. She wants you to talk about her bag. She just got gifted with hype and a little bit of talent. Not much, but just a little bit. And she's using it to get to what she needs to do, which is, I'm going to be on social media. I'm going to use basketball as a platform, but really, I want to be popular. And that's okay. We understand that. But we need to stop comparing a true hooper to a wannabe hooper. Sometimes you got to be brutally honest with yourself. And sometimes you also got to be brutally honest with people around you. Tell them the truth. Accountability. That's how you grow as a person. When I was in high school, finished high school, went to college, I also had NBA dreams too. I told myself, I might hit a growth spurt, be 6'2" by sophomore year, make it to the team, and go to the NBA. I got to a point where I was like, no, I just don't got it. Thankfully, I was an honest person. I was truthfully honest with myself. But a lot of people have a hard time being honest with themselves. A lot of people don't like accountability. So they tell themselves things that aren't true. And sometimes that truth needs to come from your friend or from somebody else. And I'm going to be that person for Bronny today. Bronny, go make the LinkedIn page. You're an athlete fitness talent. You suck. You can't play. Somebody gotta be honest with this kid. You're better off working for State Farm as an insurance agent than a basketball player. Did you see how pathetic this kid looked in the last 2 games in the preseason? This dude was bad. And I blame LeBron James. This is a selfish dad. Your dad is supposed to be that figure that protects you, that tells you what's wrong and right, that guides you. Because he has more experience in life than you. He's seen more things in you. LeBron James realized that he can't catch up to Michael Jordan in the titles. He's not going to win 6 titles. So he's like, well, let me go out there and make a Space Jam on Michael Jordan. Maybe mine will be better. And his acting skill was just as bad as Mary J. Blige in Power. Who told Mary J. Blige that she could act in Power? She sucks. Every time she's in the scene where she's supposed to make me mad, she makes me sad. When she's in the scene where she's supposed to make me sad, she makes me mad. She gets the opposite reaction out of me every single time. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So LeBron James realized that, well, my Space Jam is mid, and I can't act either. So then he be at least the first one to have his son in the NBA and play with him together. And that's pathetic. Now you're putting your kid in a bad situation. Where somebody like me is going to come out and remind him that he's an LA fitness talent. You got that man out there looking like a Craigslist version of Pat Bev. It's pathetic. Bronny sucks so bad. He's going to be the reason why the NBA will start tracking air balls and the number of games in which you had 0 points. Because that's what he does. Score 0 points. He's aging 0. He looked so bad in the last 2 games in the preseason. My goodness. Airballing layups. I had to clean my eyes for a second. I'm like, am I watching Angel Reese or Bronny James? I can't tell. The first game he had 2 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and 3 blocks. And they try to hype up his block so bad as if he didn't just score 0 points or 2 points after playing 19 minutes. Then the second game, okay, it's the first game of the preseason. Maybe he had jitters. Maybe he was a little scared. He'd go out there and look even worse. They didn't even want to pass it to this dude. If you watch that game, the last preseason game that they played against the Phoenix Suns, they didn't pass it to him. That's because they're seeing him in practice. He sucks. He passes it once to the corner. He's basically like Bruce Bowen with no skills. This is pathetic. And I understand why LeBron James was so adamant that he saw plays in the NBA. You got him paid. He's getting $7 million a year. Bro, LeBron James, $7 million is nothing for you. Why do you want your kid to be out here getting embarrassed? He has no talent. There's nothing in which I can look and be like, well, maybe he can improve up on that. He can't score. And people are like, why can't Bronny be more aggressive? Did you watch him in high school? The man averaged 13 points. Did you watch him at USC? He was bad. And you think all of a sudden he's supposed to just be this player that he never was in the previous years of his life? He's playing. The games are out of his league. He's just out of depth. He just doesn't know what to do out there. He looks lost because he has no talent. Decision making is one of the most important skills to have in life. When you make good decisions, you live a happy life. You'll be successful at what you do. And a lot of time, making good decisions isn't always about being the smartest person in the world or having a lot of intelligence. A lot of time, it's just about looking around in society, looking around in the world, and following the things that work and don't apply the things that don't work. People always trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just like relationships. They're very simple, but people try to make it very hard. If you just ask the right questions and pay attention to the right behaviors, women will tell you who they really truly are. If a girl tells you that her love language is gift, leave her alone. She'll never be in love with you. She'll always be in love with the things that she can do for her financially. The gift, the vacations. If a girl still calls her father daddy, red flag. That means she got trust issues. The only man she ever trusts is her dad. She gonna be that girl that will ask you to share your location at all times. If a girl still believes in zodiac signs, run. She's damaged goods. That means she's being with so many bad men that she thinks that the sun and the moon will help her determine who the right person is for her. She'll be that girl that tries to gaslight you because you think her cooking sucks. Oh, the only reason why you think my cooking sucks is because you're a Libra. And according to the sun, Libras are dramatic. Huh? Maybe your cooking really does suck. Maybe your mashed potatoes should taste like oatmeal. And I was looking at the NFL mock draft for this upcoming draft. And I was so shocked to see that Travis Hunter was being mentioned as the number 1 pick. What? That's pathetic. Why try to reinvent the wheel? There's a reason why corners don't go high in the draft. It's because there are other positions that are more important than a quarterback. There are other positions that affect the game more than the quarterback. Nobody wins a Super Bowl because they got elite corners. You win a Super Bowl because you got the most important parts of a football team covered. There are 4 vital positions in football that you need to be good in order to be a good football team. You need a good quarterback. You need a good O-line, usually the left tackle, to protect the blind side of the quarterback. But you need an elite O-line in order for you to protect the quarterback, in order for you to run the ball. You need pass rushers, usually edge rushers. That's what you need because you need to get after the quarterback. And then the last position you need to be good at is the receiver. We're playing in an era where there's a lot of spread offense. You need to be able to throw the ball. You need guys who are going to win the one-on-one matchups. So you need receivers. What you don't need is spending your first pick, your second pick, or your third pick on a quarterback, on a corner that you can get in the 3rd round or in the 4th round. How do I know that corners are not as important? Because if you look at the previous teams that won Super Bowls in the last 10 years, a lot of those teams had corners that were 3rd round to 2nd round to 4th round. A lot of them didn't have corners that were 1st round picks. They goes to show you that you can find a good corner and work with them in the later rounds. If you look at the Chiefs roster when they won their first Super Bowl, Travis Ward is an undrafted corner. Breland was a 4th round pick. They weren't on top of the line. If you look at Philadelphia, well, they won with Nick Foles. Jalen Mills was a 7th round pick. Darby was a 2nd round pick. They didn't have 1st round picks. Same thing with Tampa. They had 2 corners who were not 1st round picks. That just tells you that you can find good corners and you can win a lot of games in the later rounds. I just don't understand it. Why try to change things when it's been established? Data has established that corners are just not worth taking in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd pick. And you're going to have that goofy dude on Facebook or Instagram talking about, well, Travis Hunter's a receiver. Haven't you been seeing him? How he's been dominating? Really? Because he's playing against Whataburger University? You think all of a sudden he's an elite receiver? Because he's beating CBs from North Dakota? You think those DBs from North Dakota are going to be in the league? They're probably working on their LinkedIn profile as we speak because they're going to need jobs in a couple of years. You think those sorry DBs from Baylor are going to be in the NFL? They're future 24-hour fitness trainers. What are we talking about here? He's not beating DBs from Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia. He can't. He's playing against DBs who are not as athletic as him. He's more athletic as most of the DBs, most of the corners that he's facing. And he has great hands. He does. He's a playmaker. But it takes more than that to become a great receiver. You need to be shifty. You need to be able to win your one-on-ones. You're going to play in the NFL, not against Baylor. You're going to play against guys who are just as athletic or even more athletic than you. You got to have different routes. He's route running. I don't see any route running from Travis Hunter. I really don't. He's just a playmaker that got great hands. But he's not out there creating crazy separation. I don't think he's going to create separation in the NFL. I just don't. Best case scenario, he's going to be a nice slot receiver. But for you guys who think that Travis Hunter is going to be this great receiver, no, he's not. He's not shifty. He doesn't have the route running skills. I just don't see him. I haven't seen any crazy route running from him. But and some of you guys could say, oh, well, there's been plenty of guys who came out of college and everybody questioned the route running. That's true. But those were real receivers. They play receiver full time. So even when I'm drafting you, even if I don't think you're not a great route runner, I can I can rest on the fact that you might improve. We're talking about a guy who's going to be splitting time between corner and receiver. He's not going to be a great route runner. He's just not. It's crazy how people want to create this idea that he's a receiver. He's not a receiver. It's sad. He's a good cornerback. He's going to be a good player. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but what I'm saying is he shouldn't be picked first, second, or third. Those teams who are going to pick first, second, or third, they usually need a cornerback or offensive line or pass rushers. So the other day, I was reading an article about Tyrese's ex-wife. Tyrese, a singer, who I thought was a singer or the actor, but at this point, he seems like he cries for a living. The article was pretty interesting, though. It was talking about how she regrets the decision she made to divorce, how she thought it was a bad decision, and that she was not in the right state of mind to make that decision, and that she got a lot of bad advice from friends. And this is the fact that men need to be aware of, is that when you're dating a girl, a lot of times she's going to have friends who are in a bad situation, can't find a man, don't have a good man. If she's not smart enough, she's going to get a lot of bad advice from these girls who are in bad situations. It's like when you go to a club and you try to talk to this girl who has another friend who's not getting much traction when it comes to men. A lot of time when you try to talk to her, her jealous friend is going to try to take her away. And a lot of time that comes from jealousy. Jealousy because her friend is getting traction and she's not. She's jealous because a lot of times she got flowers, jerking was a thing. And this is something you need to be aware of. It's something you need to be careful of when you're dating a girl who got friends who are not in the same situation as her. So, don't be another victim of a bad friend advice. Don't let your high school friend who work at Jiffy Lube and make $13 an hour try to tell you what you should do about your career. You're about to lose $124 million if you retire. Don't do it, man. That's a lot of money. $124 million? The average American income is $37,000 a year. What you're about to lose is generational money. We all taking a risk out here. There's somebody somewhere in the world this summer picking avocado in a hot summer risking skin cancer. But he had to do what he had to do to survive. I know a friend that I grew up with in high school. 2 years ago, he came up to me. He said, Goro, I just met this girl. She's beautiful, got her life together, we get along. But she got herpes. You think I should still talk to her? I didn't even know talking to her was even an option at this point. I said, huh? What you mean talk to her? Hell no. Long story short, they just got married. So what I'm really trying to tell you is that there's people out here taking a risk for less. And you want to turn down $124 million? Hell no. Look, you got to take a risk in life. You could end up being fucked up in life. Your head could end up being fucked up. But that's okay because you're going to leave your family $124 million. Sometimes somebody got to make sacrifices in order for you to thrive. And that could be you for your family. People had to die for black people to have the rights. It is what it is. Somebody risked their life in order for me to come to America and be able to have a job and be able to have this podcast. So you don't just turn down this kind of money. Think about all the sacrifices that you made in college, in high school, the OTAs, spring practice, all the time that you were away from your family because you had to go to the weight room. You probably can't do basic math because you probably didn't take high school serious because you probably knew that you were going to go to the league anyways. So that's going to affect you if you don't get this money. 78% of NFL players declare bankruptcy after their career. Do not let that be you, man. Take the money. I'm not saying keep playing the way you play. You got to make some adjustments. At this point, you can't run the ball anymore. You just can't run it. You can't get out the pocket. When you see Roquan Smith coming, hey, it's night-night. Just get in and sleep. Go to bed. But what you cannot do is retire. Because if you retire, the girl that you with, that's with you because of your money, is going to leave. You're probably going to go bankrupt after a couple of years because you probably living a lifestyle knowing that you were going to get all that money. And now all that money is not coming. If you retire, who knows what kind of debt you're in. Make the small move and just take a risk. We all take a risk out here. It's part of life.
This has been The Guru. Unapologetic and unfiltered opinions on the hottest sports stories. Breaking everything down from basketball and football to soccer and the UFC. And might we add, your host is always right. Just ask him. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on TikTok and Instagram. He's gonna stop talking for now. See you next time on The Guru.